Hello everyone and welcome to SkShadow. Welcome back to another episode of our F1 2020 My Team Career Mode, and this time we are at Azerbaijan for the Baku Grand Prix. So normally one of my favourite tracks, so should hopefully be pretty decent. As you see, it is time to renew our sponsors. I decided we'll renew the ones we've already got. No point changing them up. You see there are 23 days to plan activities, of which there are only 14 days of activities, so we can do them all. So I just hit the autofill button and that has done that. And you can see our aero upgrade failed, which is a little bit annoying, but it is actually going to, when we redo it, it's going to cost us $350, but it is still going to come before the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, so that is going to be perfect. They do suggest that we do a durability upgrade, which I suppose is probably a good idea. As much as we want to upgrade the performance of our car in like the aero and engine department, we don't want to be taking loads of grid penalties. As you know, we're already in our second set of engine components. So this is a gearbox durability upgrade, which is going to cost us $1,100 and is going to come after the Canadian Grand Prix, I think that said. So yeah, we've done that. We've also got 14 mil to spend, so I decided to go for an upgrade for the fitness centre, which is going to cost us 4 mil, and that's going to improve the racecraft and awareness stats of our teammate Ocon. Another failure in terms of development, and our ERS in the engine upgrade department has failed, which is really annoying. It is going to come before the Canadian Grand Prix, but after the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, so yeah, that is quite annoying because ERS would be quite useful in this particular race. You can see for weather we are dry in both qualifying and race, so no rain for us this time. You can see development wise we've made a little bit of a development, but not much. Haas and Alfa Romeo have made huge progress from the Spanish Grand Prix. You can see they've skyrocketed up along with Ferrari actually, so it'll be interesting to see what the grid order will be into qualifying. So we're on to Q1 now, and according to development chart, we should be okay. I mean, we should definitely get into Q2. There's no doubt about that. We probably won't get into Q3. I mean, we haven't done ever, I don't think. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think we've made it into Q3 yet. But both cars should easily make it into Q2. And then once we're in Q2, I don't know, maybe 12th, 13th would be the highest we would aim for. It seems like we generally qualify around that point these days, as we cross the line with a 139.68, which puts us 16th, with our teammate having done a 139.3, and he's in 14th, and obviously the cut-off for Q2 is 16th, so we're definitely going to have to do another run and see if we can make up any more time. You can see going through that set of corners, we've already made up about 3-4 tenths. So yeah, really showing that there is time to be made. I don't know exactly how much, we will find out in a second, but we're already, well, there we were 6 tenths, we've lost a bit of time there. But as you can see, moving on to the final straight, we're about 7.5 tenths up, we crossed the line, and that puts us in P7. So moving from 16th to 7th with a 138.9, but you can see just how close it is from like 7th to 10th. It's like literally a tenth in it, and our teammate didn't improve, so he's ended up 17th, so he is actually out of Q1. He did not get into Q2 this time round, which is a little bit disappointing. Maybe he's just not particularly good on this track, but yeah, would have been nice to have both cars into Q2, but it seems like that was not destined to happen. We just need to see if we can get into Q3 now. I mean, we did get 7th then, but I reckon that was probably a little bit of a fluke because we crossed the line with a 139.2. I don't bother doing another run because I really didn't think we could go any faster than that, to be honest. And that puts us in 14th, so pretty much where we qualify most of the time. We could possibly have got 13th if I went for another run and really pushed it, but I didn't want to stress the engine too much. So yeah, 14th into the race.
A warm welcome to all of you watching at home to today's Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and a race that in its short history has already proven no stranger to drama. A fourth row start is just about as likely to give you a podium as a pole position would. And remember, in 2017 and 2018, both Lance Stroll and then Sergio Perez took surprise podiums here. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Ricciardo, Perez, Max Verstappen and Gasly, Kvyat, Leclerc, Albon and Sebastian Vettel, Stroll, Norris, Antoine Hubert, the engineer, Sainz, De Vries, Esteban Ocon and George Russell, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Ireland and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So, we are doing a one-stop by the looks of it. It's going to be potentially a soft to hards or a medium to hards. It seems like, I mean, I wanted to go for the soft to hards. I didn't realise that the selected strategy was actually the medium to hard, which is a little bit annoying. But we are about to get underway. And it's lights out and away we go. You can see me and De Vries are on mediums and pretty much everyone around us are actually on hards, which is a bit weird. We go for a little dive bomb down the inside of Norris and Hubert there, make a little bit of contact, and then we see if we can go down the inside again, making a little bit more contact there, and you will actually notice that contact has caused the front right of our wing to be a small shade of yellow on the damage chart, which actually means we do have a little bit of damage, which if you look closely at the thumbnail, you'll see certainly is the case. Which is a little bit annoying, and it's going to mean that we're going to be a little bit slow, especially in a straight line, which is not very good for a race like Baku, where you have one of the longest straights of any track, I'm pretty sure. But we see ourselves in P13. We've got Hubert ahead, about a second, and you've got Norris behind, who obviously, well, Norris and his teammate Sainz actually are behind us, and they're going to be trying to catch up with us very quickly. And you see we're using all the overtake we've got, and it runs out just there, but we've still got just about enough to slam on the brakes, go a little bit deep there, but it was just about enough to keep Norris behind. However, he does go for a little go on our inside. We make a little bit more contact again and manage to keep the place, but he's still going for more dive bombs. We squeeze him out. We've kept 13th, but the problem with this is it's well, it's losing us a lot of time to the guys ahead. Like you can see, we're on lap 2, and Hubert is already 3 seconds ahead, and Vettel is already 4.5. So our little fight with Norris and potentially his teammate Sainz is really, really causing us to lose time on the guys ahead. But you might as well fight for the position you've got. And moving on to start lap 3. Norris goes down our outside, but he doesn't brake late enough. He's not quite as on it on the brakes as Ricciardo is. And going around here, we've still got it. Obviously, bear in mind we are on lap 3 now, so DRS is enabled. So Norris behind would have DRS, but it looks like he was in a little bit of a fight with his teammate Carlos Sainz. So that has certainly helped us stay ahead. Otherwise, I think if he wasn't in a fight with his teammate, he could definitely have attempted to get past us at the end of that DRS zone. See, moving on to lap 4, pretty much nowhere near us at the moment. We do set our fastest lap of the race, 1.3 seconds quicker than the previous 2 laps. So you can see that us not fighting with the McLarens behind does allow us to keep the pace up, but Vettel's already 8 seconds ahead. I mean, you'd expect him to be faster because he is on softs and he is in the Ferrari, but still, we are losing huge amount of time. You think that the Renault is supposed to be a little bit slower than the McLarens, and he's 4 seconds ahead of us. It's not a particularly great situation. We've got a yellow flag somewhere. Looks like one of the Williams might be out of the session. We should get a confirmation anytime soon. Yeah, there you go. Callum Ilott is out of the session. Annoyingly, once again, we don't get a safety car or even a virtual safety car. We seem to be plagued with not having safety cars at all so far this season, which is annoying. It would certainly have helped us close up the gap. Although you can see we are now 3.2 seconds behind Huber, so either his hards are already getting slow on lap 5, which wouldn't make sense, or we are actually speeding up. As you see, the gap is now 2.5 seconds, 2.3 there. So yeah, we're certainly finding some pace. Now we're not side by side with Norris into every single corner. We are certainly finding the pace, and we've even actually gained about a second on Vettel as well. Well, if we keep up this pace, we should hopefully be able to maybe fight for points, depending on what strategies the guys ahead do. Like you can see, we're already in P11 from lap 6, which clearly means that some of the guys ahead have pitted. And you see lap 7, we're in P8. We've got Bottas behind us. We don't really bother fighting him. We keep the overtake on just to see if we would have been able to. And you can see using overtake, even with him having DRS, we're still quicker than him. So you can see that using overtake, our engine isn't actually as bad as the performance chart would want to make it out as. In terms of actual pure horsepower and performance, you can see we're actually gaining on him here just using DRS, not even overtake or rich or anything. So either he's got an engine problem or our engine isn't as bad as the game would like to make you think. But lap 10, we're approaching our pit window, so 2 more laps and we'll be on a brand new set of hards. Currently in a podium position in 3rd, but obviously that is not going to happen because we do have to pit. Ricardo is behind us. I'm not sure if he's pitted yet, but we've managed to pull away 2 seconds from Carlos Sainz behind us. Oh, here we go. You're using the overtake, but doesn't look like it's going to be enough. No, he's ahead of us. There we go. Sounds like from what Jeff was telling us, he does have one more stop, so we are technically fighting for position with him. But obviously, he's got the Renault engine in his car, just like us, and I'm sure with that Renault, he's probably got a few more upgrades than us, as you could see, as he easily got past us, and even with overtaken DRS, we're not catching up. So I don't think we're going to be getting to him anytime soon. As we dive into the pits, almost hit the wall there, but managed to avoid it in the last second. We go in. What can they do? 3.1. Ooh, steady, but not fast. Not like one of the races. We had a 1.9 second stop, which is a bit insane. But we have come out of the pits in P16. So we've got Alex Albon in his Red Bull ahead. And then behind us, we've got Giovinazzi and Magnussen. Bear in mind, a few of the guys ahead, like the 2 McLarens, still have to pit. So hopefully, if we have enough pace on these hards, we'll come out ahead of them. As you see, we are going on a pit straight for lap 14. Looks like Sainz is pitting. Anyone else can we see? Doesn't look like it. So we have moved up to P15 there. George Russell is actually ahead of us in the Alfa Romeo on the hards, but I suspect that he's still got a pit as well, because I think he started on hards and obviously he can't then go to hards again. That is not allowed. We should be able to get past him anyway before he even bothers going into pits. Yeah, there we go. We're very, very close there, and you'll see this is where we make the move and make it done way earlier than the braking point. So that is easy enough, and that was us making a move on Alex Albon, I think. Yeah, we actually get past Alex Albon, but a lap later you've got Albon and Norris coming at us. Bit of a double whammy of cars there. Albon diving up the inside. We perhaps brake a little bit too late and go very deep. That allows Albon past. Side by side with Lando Norris, who actually hits Alex Albon there. So I'm not sure if he damaged his wing. Now we've got Gasly in the AlphaTauri coming at us because of our incredibly slow acceleration onto that straight, because we had to brake rather sharply to avoid hitting them, and especially avoid hitting Albon there. And you saw me checking the wing damage to make sure I actually didn't, but I didn't, so it's all good. Moving on to lap 21. Looks like the McLaren of Lando Norris had to go into the pits, as Gasly easily gets past. He he braked way later than us. So clearly those mediums are working a lot better for him. As for some reason, you can see in the bottom right, we've got a sort of an engine warning light, if you put it like that, telling us that some of our engine components are worn. I'm not sure what, because we took pretty much a brand new set, but you can see that is Kvyat getting past us, and Sign's even thinking about it. We're side by side. We're just going to squeeze him out there, take the corner for ourselves, and that pretty much shows him who's boss there. But Kvyat on his softs, yeah, we weren't catching him in the slightest. You see Ocon has appeared for the first time we've actually seen him. He's down in 15th. Moving on to lap 23, Carlos Sainz makes it look easy. He's on mediums. He's got a better engine than us. We don't even bother trying to fight him, because what is the point at this point? We're fighting for P13 and P14. No points. We might as well try and preserve our engine life as much as possible, because we're already on the second set of engine components in not many races as we cross the line, and that puts us P14. And you can see, yeah, there we are, P14 with a best of a 143.384. And then our teammate was in P15 with a best of a 143.296. So in terms of actual pace, me and Ocon were pretty much spot on. We ended up exactly where we were on the grid. Ocon managed to gain a couple of positions from 17th to 15th, because obviously, as we know, he didn't get into Q2. But overall, not a terrible race. Certainly would have been nice to get points, but you can't get points every race. But other than that, thank you very much for watching, and that's it from me. And good night.